Welcome back to Coin Sense and Nonsense. Today, it's the 1829 cap bust half dollar. So I got this recently at the Long Beach Coinshow, and I'm really excited to show it off. I hadn't had a graded example of a cap bust until now. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really even looking, or I didn't think I was looking for one of these when I left to head out for the show that day. But I couldn't resist the deal that I got, and so I'll explain that in a little bit. But let's just take in the beauty here. This is a only an AU 55, but the quality of it I thought was really nice. It kind of caught my eye as I was going down the aisle. And so I asked the guy, how much for your cap bust? And so he looked up the price and he came back and he said, oh, $550. And so I said, okay, let me think about it. And so I walked away and decided, let me get out my price guide and see, because I wasn't really familiar with these, but like I say, it kind of caught my eye. So let me check out the price guide. So let me show you what I saw in the price guide when I looked it up. Again, this is the 1829 cap bust. Lettered edge, they call these, and actually we can look at that in a little bit. There's an inscription on the edge. It says half a dollar or 50 cents. And yeah, it's kind of cool. So anyway, let's check out the price. So I checked the price guide, and so I'm looking, there's cap bust, half dollar, regular strike, 1829, AU 5900. He said 550. Wait, I must have the wrong cap bust, regular strike, not the proofs, right? Yeah, regular strike. And so when I saw that price, I thought, did I look up the right coin? 550, he said, and it's 900 in the book. So I checked a couple times and then went back over and sheepishly said, yeah, I think I'd like to get that from you, and was hoping that there wasn't any change in heart or whatever. So made the deal, and then as I got home and checked it out, I realized the prices on the cap bust half dollars in general have all gone up in the last 6 months or so. So this had been like a $500 coin, or maybe like $520, I forget, something like that. And then it jumped to 900 in the latest issue of the PCGS price guide. So stranger things can happen the other direction. It could easily go back down, but I think the trend is upward for these in general. So cap bust half dollars, I learned, have quite a detailed, I don't know, I guess there's die combinations, is what I'm trying to say, that you need to know about to be able to collect these effectively. Just like with like Peace dollars and Morgan dollars, there's the VAM numbers, Van Allen and Malice. These have O numbers, and it's for Al Overton. And in 1967, he published a comprehensive guide to all the die combinations that were possible, or that were identified up to that point anyway, for these coins. And it's quite something. I had no idea it was that extensive. So there are some varieties that are worth money. Mine is more the common die marriage, they call it. So this one is an Overton 117, or an 0117. And I'll show you how I figured that out. You look at the shape of the crossbar on the 5, and also One big thing is the alignment of the T and the I on the reverse. So can get into that, and let's get into the microscope and check this out. There are some hairlines, definitely. It's, there's no fooling that it's going to get to an AU58 or anything like that. It does have this PQ sticker, and I don't know if that was rightly earned or what. I did try to look up the PQ number, or put in my certification number in the PQ website, and nothing came back, but I didn't see anything listed for any coins. So I don't know if there's still any support for PQ. It was kind of like a startup wannabe CAC or CAC type organization that confirmed the quality of coins. They would only give it to either NGC or PCGS graded coins. There were no Annex or any of those. So anyway, let's get in with the scope and check this out. All right, and here was one of the diagnostics I used to determine which of the reverses I had. So the V-shaped short stubby crossbar on the 5 really kind of distinguishes itself as the reverse N. Another thing I learned is that the alignment of the T and the I, the T in states and the I in pluribus, that kind of also helps identify which die you have. One level of detail, like I was saying earlier, it really gets into the minutia. Some even look for like the bleeding of the bars into the rows above. So yeah, that can kind of set aside some die varieties. So, and here you can see very clean lines, and I think that's why it got that PQ sticker, if it is legit. All right, and there's that edge lettering I was telling you about, and actually I got it backwards. It's 50 cents or half a dollar is what it says. So, and then in later years they put a star after dollar. And speaking of stars, actually this is the 13th star on the obverse. And one of the hallmarks in the first 10 years of this design was that supposedly John Reich, the designer, would put a privy mark or a hallmark in there, kind of put a little cut right there, and that's how you knew he worked on the die. All right, and here we are, a little detail on the obverse. This is known as obverse 10. And one of the features is that her mouth is slightly open. It's kind of hard to show, but compared with some of the other designs, I think it's a little more tight in that area. In other designs, this one's slightly open. So, and then how the date appears, if the 9 is higher than the 182, that distinguishes it from something, but mine is the standard. So this is obverse 10. Oh, and while we're talking about the date, I forgot to mention one of the common varieties is a 9/7. They didn't really wipe out the previous 7 when they reused the die, and it's a relatively common variety, no major extra value. All right, so there's 3,712,000 156 minted, but only about 10,000 survive according to PCGS. And speaking of PCGS, there's 306 in this population at AU55, and there's 608 graded higher. All right, hopefully you enjoyed checking that out. Really like this coin. And yeah, I think I might be having to add some more cap bust halves. So I think this might have started something. So anyway, thanks so much for watching Coin Sense and Nonsense. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you have not. And until next time, bye-bye.